Today's cosmetic is a deep moisturizing cream infused with CBD. I'm going to show you how I make this cream that you see here in front of you and talk a little bit about how this product is different from other formulas. And while you watch me make this, we're going to talk about why CBD topicals give users a relaxing, soothing effect just by rubbing it on your skin, even when you're not consuming it in the form of a food or a drop. And how this works might not be the way you think it works. And if you hang out until the end of this video, I'm going to show you how to get these QR codes or barcodes to print directly onto your product labels. Now this is a must if you're making a product line and you need to scan your own inventory, or if you want to build a brand on Amazon, because under many circumstances barcodes are required on your packaging. Welcome to Thermal Mermaid, and today we're making soothing hemp oil and honey night cream. There are 10 ingredients in this formula, and if you'd like to follow along with the full recipe, you can download the recipe packet in the member section of the Thermal Mermaid Recipe Collection located at cottagediy.com. The printouts include the full recipe, instructions, my notes on the recipe, and also a place for your notes while you're working. Of course, this page also includes the exclusive video, which is a straightforward recipe to make your workflow a little bit easier. Now, if you're already a member at cottagediy.com, the link below will take you directly to that page. For everyone else, everything that we're going to cover here will apply very nicely to your own favorite DIY lotion recipes. This formula features CBD isolate powder, which makes it stand apart from an average lotion all on its own. But today, we're building a heavy, long-lasting body buttered, textured cream. Now, I usually call these night creams, winter creams, or after shower creams. This formula, it's for tough skin, scaly skin, hard to hydrate skin. The recipe is definitely not a lightweight wear that soaks in and dries up really quickly. The humectants built into this are going to last a few minutes on your skin. So you can massage and you can rub this cream in for several minutes as it's applied. It'll end up trapping the moisture, and then you get more contact with the CBD oil in the product, and that's going to apply to what we're about to discuss in a few minutes. Now, this formula does not leave up any waxy buildup, and it's not oily. It doesn't leave an oily film on your skin. It has the texture of a velvety pudding, and it ends up giving you a very deep moisturizing effect. A great time to trap moisture on your skin is just when you're fresh out of the shower. It's nice and comfortable when you're ready to go to bed, and hopefully you're nice and cool down so you can sit down and relax. This is not the formula that you want if you're outside in the summer under direct sunlight and you're already sweating. If you can imagine, that's when you want a lightweight cream that the breeze will kind of cool you down. You don't want to trap all of that moisture. So this is something when you're ready to relax, you're ready to be nice and cool, and you really want to get a deep moisturizing effect. I already have all of my ingredients measured out, and I'm going to place most of my ingredients in a warm bath to get everything melted down. This will take about 20 minutes, so I'm going to melt everything pretty slowly. And at the end, we're going to get this up to about 160 degrees. I want all of the warmed ingredients to be as close to each other in temperature as possible, because this is going to help with bonding everything together evenly. In the first phase of combining the ingredients, we're going to put all of the water-soluble ingredients together first. The honey and the glycerin are pretty thick. As they warm up, they start to thin out, so this becomes easier. Both of these ingredients act as the humectants in this recipe, and this is what makes the moisturizer in the finished product feel wet and slick, and it pulls water from the air or water from your skin. It traps it all together. Now I'm going to combine these, and we're going to add this into the aloe vera juice and blend this down completely. Everything else in the recipe is oil soluble, so we'll set the water-based part of our recipe aside, leaving it in the warm bath. We want to let this stay warm, and then we'll combine the next phase. Usually, your powdered ingredients are water soluble, but CBD powder is actually a crystallized oil, so this is going to melt and disperse into the warm hemp seed oil, and then we'll blend this down completely. Next, I'm going to mix the melted shea butter into the hemp oil and allow this to blend. Now I'm going to come over and combine the e-wax and the stearic acid. Out of all of these ingredients, the stearic acid has the highest melting point, which is at 155 degrees Fahrenheit or 69 Celsius. And when you combine this with anything, the other ingredients also have to be at 155 degrees or a little warmer, or the stearic acid will solidify on contact with its counterpart, and then you'll end up seeing these waxy streaks floating inside of your solution or inside of your mixture, and they won't completely blend together. So to keep this under complete control, I like to blend the e-wax and the stearic acid first, take a look at it, see that it's completely clear and mixed, and then add it to the main oils. Now we'll blend the oil base and the water base together. Now these two parts naturally want to separate, and it's the e-wax that will bind this without it separating. But in order for it to work, we need to do this while it's still hot. Between 145 and 160 degrees is perfect. And we have to make sure to give it enough time. So when you blend, make sure to do this for a full 3 to 5 minutes. Now, while we do this, let's talk about a common question that people ask regarding topical CBD products. Does rubbing CBD onto your skin actually work and cause a soothing effect compared to eating it? So first, just as a reminder, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a dermatologist, but I am going to explain my understanding of how this works, and I'll leave resources that I used to describe this below the video. So if you want to explore more for yourself, there will be more to click below. First, whenever you rub a cosmetic on your skin, you're not rubbing lotion into your body. Your body's not absorbing the oils internally. Your skin might soak up moisture, that maybe it needs to be hydrated, but essentially everything that you put on your skin is just sitting on the surface until it dries. Now there are some creams that have tiny molecules so small that they can penetrate through the layers of your skin, and those creams are used as a carrier for medicine sometimes. Those types of things are usually pharmaceuticals, and they're regulated by the FDA because your body consumes that product. Nothing that we make falls into this category. There is no DIY handmade salve, lotion, or cream that's actually being consumed by your body. So if that's the case, why in the world would you rub CBD onto your skin if it isn't being absorbed? So let's take a look at how this works. In an article published in 2020 in the Clinical, Cosmetical, and Investigative Dermatology, your body has a system called an endocannabinoid system, and this is made of molecules called endocannabinoids, receptors, and then enzymes that help transfer the molecules to the receptors. This system is mostly in your brain and your nervous system, but it also exists in your skin. When CBD makes contact with your skin, it sends signals to this system that scientists believe plays a role in the homeostasis and health of your skin. And it's also shown potential for alleviating skin disorders like psoriasis and eczema. So far, experiments on rats have shown a considerable reduction in inflammation with topical use. Now, at this time, studies are still limited, and the evidence behind topical CBD is just starting to emerge. But with this, following a ton of anecdotal evidence where people claim to have reduction in not only skin ailments, but generalized pain like arthritis when they use CBD topicals, well, the information is starting to pile on, and we're becoming more interested in this all the time. So the CBD in the kind of products that we are making, it's not going into your skin, but it's reacting with your skin to promote a natural stimulus of the endocannabinoids that are already in your body. Pretty neat. Back at our project, we finally finished blending, and it's time to begin the third phase of our formula. This is where we add the more delicate ingredients that can only remain stable once the product has cooled to below 100 degrees. It's time to add the preservative and the fragrance oil. Now I'll continue to blend this until it's completely incorporated, and then you can transfer this into your packaging, or in this case you can even leave this to cool and thicken a little bit more and transfer it when you're ready. If you're experiencing lots of froth and bubbles, you can skim it off the top once it has set up to the texture that you like before you transfer it, or you can even fold it in and continue to mix. Once this becomes a pudding texture, you'll notice that you can get a little bit of volume out of it if you keep mixing and whipping a little bit of air into it. And eventually the small little froth bubbles will blend away, and then you'll have a nice, thick, even mixture. Now, if you've stayed with me this long, you may remember that I mentioned the label that you saw in the beginning of the video. This label was created at soapcraftlabels.com. This is a website that's open exclusively for members at cottagediy.com. This is a label creator software made specifically for soap and cosmetics, and when you create a label, you can instantly place your own barcode or your own QR code on your labels. Now, I think we all know what a barcode is, and if you're not familiar with QR codes, these are the codes that you look at through the camera of your phone, and it instantly opens up your website for your customers. So when your customer is holding your product in their hand and say they want to see what else you have to offer, they don't need to do anything more than scan your code and get instant access to your entire inventory. Super easy. Now, these features are right there on your label designer. All you need to do is type in your website, and then the codes are generated for you, and then you can pop them directly onto your label. Now, if you all remember and you've used this in the past, I've recently made some updates, added some more logo art, and you no longer need to put anything into a shopping cart to save your work. I know that might have seemed confusing. I had that all discussed out in the tutorials. Originally, the software was designed for customers who were buying custom designs. And what I did was I had removed everything that had to do with checking out or buying, because I want you to have instant access as soon as you make your design. But you were still stuck going through this $0 checkout if you wanted to save your design and then come back to it later. But now none of that is necessary. Everything is available to you up in the menu at the top, and it's just much more easier to use and work through. And when you follow that menu at the top, you can save your design, or you can save as many designs as you want if you want to come back later. This has all been made just one step easier. Also, this software is best viewed in the Chrome browser. Sometimes there can be some wonkiness with Firefox depending on what updates are happening, and let's just say things don't ever work in Edge. In the history that I've ever used Edge has never been a great product to use, and hopefully there really aren't too many Edge users out there. But if you want to get the optimal use out of the software, then pop it open in Chrome. Works perfectly beautiful. Now, I use this label designer exclusively for everything that I make on this channel. So if you see designs that do catch your eye, or if you want to know how to make something, then you know exactly where they come from. And feel free to pop in any questions, leave any comments about it, and if there's anything that you want me to answer specifically, I'll be more than happy with that. And that brings us to the end of our video. Thank you for being here with me to the end today. And if you want to learn more about our creations, you can find us at cottagediy.com, or come join us over in the Facebook group. See you next time.